Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is RJ. So today we're dropping back in on Townstar. We're nearly at the end of the latest competition. We're going to be checking out my build and how we're getting on. So keep watching. Okay, and welcome to another video. And remember, if this is your first time visiting my channel and you want to learn more about how to earn cryptocurrency for free, about cloud mining sites, crypto investments, and lots of other crypto related stuff, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to tag that notification bell so you're alerted to all my latest content as it comes online. Okay, so here we are. Townstar, we've got about 1 day and 15 hours left of the second week of the energy meta. Now, this is my new build that I talked about in the last video. So in the last video to this, so that would have been energy meta week 1. This is week 2. We had a build that basically was producing, I think it was 1,200 and about 1,230 or something like that. So as you can see with the new build, we've actually managed to gain around about 120, close to 130 energy per hour more. You'll also notice that we are no longer really using the trade truck. We are doing bundles of 100 and using the freight pier now to basically export our energy. Now, personally, I actually prefer using the trade truck and ship it in tens. I think it actually helps you move up the leaderboard a lot better. But with this build, I just simply could not produce enough fuel to use the trade truck and ship in 10. So that's why we had to go with the freight pier and ship in 100s. Now, we'll quickly go over this. I'm actually doing this video in 2 parts. Today is Saturday, the 27th of November. Like I say, we've got about 1 day and 15 hours left. This is our new build. So to break it down, we have 30 wind turbines. In the previous video, our build only had 25, so we've managed to get 5 more in. Admittedly, those 5 more are not running optimally, so we have 25 turbines that are running optimal. And then this one here, that is, as you can see, yellow. This one here is red, this one here is red, and these 2 at the back here are also red, but it's still 5 more turbines. And like I say, that has actually given us around about 120, 130 more energy per hour. You can see that we've probably got a lot less oil pumps as well compared to the last build, because we're only using 2 power stations as opposed to the other one had 4. We're actually only got 11 forklifts on this build, and the previous one had 14. I'm guessing the reason why we had to use 14 on the previous one is because we did have so many more oil pumps. So even though we've got less of quite a few things, we're actually still got a much better build that is actually producing more energy consistently. Now, although that is all great news, unfortunately the powers that be have conspired against us, and also as well I've made some bad mistakes. So unfortunately in this week I don't believe we're going to make the top 400, which is massively disappointing because we do have a much better build. If you guys take this build, copy this build, if you want to, and you can avoid the issues I've had, which we'll go into in a second, and also the bad luck that I've had. You guys should easily make it into that top 400. You'll also notice with my road system, I have literally just filled it. I've actually filled it, and if you watch the forklifts, it's, you know, this one, I mean, it's working its way diagonally. Obviously, if you've just got a square blocks of road, they can't do that. So even though it's probably fractions of a second, or you know, 1 or 2 seconds or whatever, that is all time being saved, which means that your electricity is getting to your warehouses that little bit quicker. Therefore, your shipments can get sent that little bit quicker, and this is also going to help you move up the leaderboard where other people have standard block, or I don't even know how you say it, but the standard way you'd set out a road, just in like your little squares. This will save you a bit of time by doing this, because your forklifts or whatever it is are going to be able to take a more direct route rather than following that standard sort of block system. Okay, so like I say, that it's all positive, but a few things have happened. So on the first day, we got off to a flying start. We at the best, we were in 106th place on the first start. By the end of it, after shuffling around, obviously trying to get my build done, by the next morning, we were in about 200 and something place. So we're about 212th place. So, we were doing really well. And then basically to finish the build off, obviously certain things got slowed down and stuff like that. And by the end of that first day, we were in, I don't know, we'd dropped quite considerably, because other people, obviously, their builds were just that bit further ahead of mine. And we dropped down to about 500th or something, maybe 400th or something place when I went to bed. I can't remember exactly what happened, but when I woke up on the second day, I was sitting in 680th place, which obviously, that is not where we wanted to be, and not good at all. So basically, we got our build finished on the second day, and so we got our build finished, and then we'd managed to get ourselves up to about 530th place. And at that point, I was basically overproducing crude oil. I tried removing some pumps, but every time I removed pumps, I was then having a deficiency of crude oil. So I couldn't get a good balance. So what I did was I basically set the auto sell to sell my crude oil every time it got to about 20. So it would sell 10 and leave 10 in there for me for my refineries and all that, and power stations to use. The mistake I made was that I didn't check that it was working. So we went to bed in 530th place, and we woke up in 620th place. So going from 680 to 530 that I'd really worked hard to get there, we then ended up back at 620th place. So I then battled again. This was yesterday, so that would have been Friday. I then battled again to get up to 498th place by Friday night. So like I say, it's Saturday now, so by Friday night we're in 498th place, which meant I had about 2 days to make up that 100 places, which I felt we could have done. And then I woke up today, and I don't know if there was a Windows update or something like that, which I've checked my settings, and my computer shouldn't do anything in the event of an update. But basically I woke up this morning and my computer just reset itself. I was just looking at the home screen, nothing was there, and so I had to reboot, not reboot, but basically open up my browser, which then told me that it had got shut down, unexpectedly, and then it asked me if you wanted to restore the page. I restored the page, which obviously was the Townstar page, and I went straight into the leaderboard, and we were at 515 places. So it has been such an up and down, absolute nightmare with various things happening. Some of those things were my fault, like I say, with the crude oil. When I set it up in the auto sell, I should have checked that it did work and it was selling. But I guess it's because I've never had that problem before. I just made the assumption it would be okay. But I'm telling you all this, and it's probably a very long-winded story. They're just little things that you guys should be watching out for, because you don't want to be in a situation like I have, which I've just been battling to try and get into that top 400s, doing everything I possibly can, tweaking my build, getting it better and better and better, and you're just not getting that payoff, because it is massively frustrating. As those of you that play this, you know how much time essentially you have to invest in this program on the weekly competitions to try and be competitive and win that gala. So to have all those things happen, like I say, I hold my hand up. Some of them were my doing, but I say, just to wake up after I'd got to 498th place to find my computer reset itself, just absolute nightmare. If we dive into the leaderboard now, you can see we're in 515th place, so we've made up 2 places, but we've only got 1 day, 16 hours left. The chance of me making up 113 places to get to number 400, very unlikely. Most people have got their builds working really well now. You're going to have the nuke guys coming through, so it's the likelihood of us hitting that top 400, like I say, it is very unlikely and massively disappointing. But I wanted to show you this build because, like I say, it is a good build. It does work really well. Like I say, we've made an extra 100, around about 130 energy per hour we're making. So that is a big step forward from our last build. And obviously, if you guys want to use this for next week, because we've got 3 weeks of this energy build, you're more than welcome, because next week I'm going to be doing a nuke build. So I'm going to be setting up my town with nuclear power plants, and I'm just going to go for that in the final week. So that's pretty much this portion of the video done. Like I said, it is going to be a 2-parter. We will catch up with where we are on Sunday, which is going to be tomorrow. So make sure you continue to watch to see how we finally get on, where we're probably going to end up. And also as well, if you don't know a lot about Townstar, but you think it looks like an interesting way to earn yourself some free crypto, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a playlist in the description. Go and check that out. It contains quite a few videos. It's even got some how-to tutorials on certain things and aspects of the game. And if you go right the way through to the end of this video, that link will be there also, so you can just click straight on it and get watching. Okay, and welcome back. So here we are. As you can see, we have only got 17 hours left of the competition, and we have actually managed to make a few more tweaks and improve the build even further. Now, in the first part of the video, you would have seen that our hourly was at 1,347. You can now see we are at 1,364. Pretty much all I've done is I found a spot that I could actually add another turbine in, and it would not affect any of my turbines that are running at an optimal speed. So as I mentioned in the previous video, this turbine is running at a yellow speed, this one is running at red, this one is running at red, and then, like I say, all that was there was an oil pump. So I basically added an oil pump over here on the left, and then I put that turbine in there. Yes, it's running at red, but it still means it's another extra energy or battery being created every 8 minutes. So now we actually have 31 turbines running. We only have 25 running optimally, but we have 31 in total. So that's 6 that are not optimal. You've got these 2 over here on the right, and then you've got these 4 here. Like I say, this one is running yellow, so that's making a battery every 2 minutes, and these are making batteries every 8 minutes. The other thing that I have done, if we cruise down here, is you might notice now from the first part of the video is that I've removed my troughs, I've removed all my feeders, and I've removed my sheep. Now the reason why I've done this is basically because as you can know, and we just said, we've only got 17 hours left of the competition. I've got 17 million in the bank. My wages every minute is only 1,890, so we've got plenty enough in the bank. But also as well, that the less you have on the screen, the less work your computer has to do. So if you're running a PC and you're finding that it's running very hot, a lot of people do tend to find this, especially if you're using laptops or iPads, tablets or whatever. What you can do is once you get to a point like now where you've only got a few hours left, you got plenty in the bank, you can just remove things that you no longer need. And having less on your screen, like I say, therefore it needs less resources from your computer, and you'll actually find that your computer might actually start running a little cooler. You notice I said might, there's no guarantee, but this is the simple reason why I've done that. Now a lot of you might be sat there and thinking, well, now you've got all that space, why are you not putting turbines in here to make more energy? Unfortunately, with the turbines, that way of doing things does not pay off. Now, if we were running windmills, even though they have a similar thing with requiring the wind to run, the effect of that wind or that wind block, so if you put, say if we had a windmill here and then we had a windmill right next to it, yes, it would take it to a red bar instead of the green, but worst case scenario, if I filled this area with windmills, each one of those windmills would only be running, I think it's like, what is it, 2.5, maybe 3 minutes. So the optimal is about 40 seconds to a minute. When it's got a red bar, the maximum is about 2.5 to 3 minutes. So it's only an extra maybe 1 to 2 minutes added on. Whereas if I put a load of turbines in here, an optimal one in the green runs at 1 minute. So that takes 1 minute to produce a battery. If you put a load in here and they all go red, each one of those then takes 8 minutes. So that's 7 times the amount of time required to make one battery. And you think, well, if you have tons and tons and tons, surely you can overcome that. I personally don't. I don't think it will work because it's the difference is just too big. And also as well, if I filled this, say I put 10 turbines in here, they're all running at 8 minutes, yeah? That then affects this. This one then would probably start running at like maybe 2 minutes. This one would run at 2 minutes. This one would run at 2 minutes. That one would run at 2 minutes. And that one would probably run at 2 minutes. So again, it's not just those ones in there that are being affected. It's all the ones surrounding or in the immediate area. They're going to get affected as well. And obviously, if we then added turbines into these gaps, they would all go to 8 minutes. And it just doesn't seem to work out in a favorable way. So just bear that in mind. you're better off to go for optimal or as close to optimal as possible. I realize we were just saying that I've got 6 on here that are not optimal, but they're in positions like these 3 were not optimal anyway. But the ones next to them, like that one and that one and this one and this one, they are all optimal. But they weren't anyway. So to add that one in made no difference. And it's like these ones at the back here, they're not affecting anything either. But we are getting 1 extra battery every 8 minutes from those ones. So it's worthwhile. But when you start affecting your optimal ones just by cramming loads in, for me, it is a total waste. I think you're just going to see your hourlies go down as opposed to your hourlies go up. The other thing that I did play around with is actually I removed this forklift. So we started off, I started off with 14 forklifts. In the previous part of the video, I think we had 11 or 12. And every now and again, we were getting forklifts that go to sleep. People normally say is if your forklifts go to sleep, you got too many forklifts. And at 14, we definitely did. We had way too many. So I would remove one, reset it, and then then leave it for an hour or so and see if it made a positive or a negative effect. So we got down to this, which is 11. We got to 11, and I was still having forklift fall asleep. And you will probably see while I'm doing this, like him, that he was about to go to sleep. He went to his car park spot and then quickly came back out. So now and again, we are still getting forklifts fall asleep. But what the difference is that they only sleep for a very short period of time. But there's long periods where every single one of them forklifts is running. And when I removed this one, because forklifts were a forklift or 1 or 2 forklifts were still falling asleep, when I removed this one and then left it for an hour or so, I suddenly noticed my like he's gone to sleep now. I suddenly noticed my hourly starting to drop. You see, he was in there, split second, then came back out. There you go, he fell asleep. Split second, came back out. But like I say, when I removed it, my hourly started to drop. So I added it back in and my hourly just went back up. And like I say, even though these guys are sleeping for very short periods of time, there's long periods where all of them are actually running. And the reason why they're falling asleep is because your oil pumps are pumping. So they're at that, so these forklift people are waiting for your oil pumps to produce something, or they're waiting for your turbines to produce something. So if you get to a point where all your oil rigs are pumping and they've not actually produced anything, and then all your turbines are working like this and they've not actually finished their cycle, you will get forklifts falling asleep because they're just waiting. But like I say, you do get long periods where all of these forklifts are running. So it's a real balance. If clearly you're getting a lot of forklifts and they're falling asleep for long periods of time, then you need to remove some. But you got to do it one at a time. Best way to do it, one at a time. Reset it, so refresh your page and then let it run for an hour or so and just watch your hourly. If your hourly starts going up, then that was a good move to remove it. If it starts going down after about an hour or so, then you need to add it back in. But like I say, we had 14, we're now down to 11. So yeah, and that's where I found that optimal setting on this build is 11 forklifts. Okay, so before we go any further, I was actually able to have a quick chat with the developer of Gala Guru. Now, for those of you that didn't catch my last video, Gala Guru is a great little site connected with Townstar. It's been completely independently developed by a person called Gwil. If I pronounce this wrong, I'm very sorry. I would basically it's Guilherme Ferreira Pereira. I'm not sure on the pronunciation. I hope I have got that right. But this person has basically developed this site, and at the moment it is literally just like I say, it's just a leaderboard. You can obviously flick through to all the positions, but the other cool thing is you can even search. So I can look up myself. So we just look here, and where are we? 0. There I am. It took a while, a couple of times last time, but yeah, here I am. So you can see we're in position 495. You can look at your total points, look at the points in the last hour, last 2 hours, and then you can even click on yourself and get a bit of a graph to show where things have done. And you see these downturns. This is where this particular one is probably where I added that forklift back in. Obviously, I had to change some stuff around and that to then put that back in. And then basically we've then started pretty consistently. We've been pretty consistent, as you can see there. And also the great thing is it actually gives you your finishes in the last few competitions you're in. So when if you use Discord and Gala Games released the changed leaderboard, once they've removed all of the cheaters and stuff like that, if you want before searching through the list, you can always come in here, look at your position of where you think or where you finished, and then you know where to scroll down to rather than searching through the whole of the page trying to find yourself. But anyway, when I was speaking to the person that has developed this site, they gave me some real great info of what is to come. So this literally has been 3 weeks work. They're very busy, family and all that kind of stuff. So obviously they're not able to spend 100% of their time developing this, but they did give me some idea of what updates are to come. Now, one of the big things that they want to add is alerts. So you can be alerted to when your town goes down or when the site goes down. You can be alerted to that. You can be alerted to the amount of points you've earned in a, say, set period of time. So you could go into the site, you go, right, every hour I want an update on my points. That will then send you a message to your phone. I think also as well, maybe when your points are being sent to you, possibly that your position could be sent to you as well, because obviously it would be great to see your progression, not just your points. So maybe that's something that this person will consider to add in with that alert as well. But that's sort of a bit further down the line. The immediate updates are going to be projections. So this is something that you could click on your name, as we've just done with me, and it will give you a projection based on your current rate or your current hourly rate or your currently minute rate. I'm assuming it'd be probably on the hourly rate, and it will give you a projection of where you are going to finish or where you might finish, around about where you might finish with the given time left in the competition. So if there's, like we have now, about 15 hours left of the competition, it says, right, your hourly rate is this. We project that you are going to finish in this position, approximately in this position at the end of the competition, which is great in the sense that if it's quite early on, it helps you tweak your build, because you can make a change like we made that change with the forklift or with the forklifts, when I was saying I was taking a few out here and there and then letting it run for an hour, and you could see whether the hourly rate was going up or down. you would get that you could get that projection as well. You can come and check on Gala Guru where it thinks you're going to finish. So obviously, if your positions, if you're getting higher and higher, you know that your tweaks or your changes to your build are working. But then if obviously you're dropping down the listing, then you know that, okay, I've made a mistake, I need to revert back to where I was or something like that. I think this is going to be a really great little tool once everything has been put on here. Also as well, the other thing that they're looking to add is comparisons. So you can actually compare your build against another person's build, so you can see how well you're doing against, say if you're in a team, or say you're in a group of people on a forum or something like that. You know, you're sort of battling against your teammates or whatever, and Gala Guru is going to give you those projections, and those two things, like the comparison, the person player comparison, and also the projection updates, are ones that are going to be coming in the very near future, and then the alerts are going to be just somewhere down the line. So personally, I think that this is a great site that you want to bookmark and just keep an eye on. And just to give you an example as to the alerts, because when I was speaking to the developer, they were saying that they're not 100% sure how they're going to do the alerts. They have considered doing it through SMS, but obviously that's quite expensive. So that is something you would have to make. I don't know how that would work, but the way they have it currently done is they're getting the alerts through their Telegram mobile app. So obviously, if that is something that I think that's probably going to be your best bet. It's free, and probably this person's already got their alert set up. As you can see here, just as a quick example, you can see here it says Townstar My Alerts, the town Gala.Guru. So that's obviously their town name. And then it says has scored 400 points in the last 6 minutes. So like I say, you could probably change that period of time. So they've got it so every 6 minutes they know how many they're earning. You could, like I say, you could probably set it for an hour, or you could set it for half an hour or something like that. You know, it's probably give you a multiple choice, a little drop down or something like that. But yeah, I think this because when you're away from your computer or whatever, it gives you a real good understanding that your town is still working, functioning 100%, and also as well with those alerts coming in, telling you if the site's gone down and stuff like that. I really think that this is a great site. This is going to be a great site and a great tool for any people using Townstar. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the link in the description. Come and check this out. Like I said, you can come in here, you can type in your own town, check out how people are doing. So like I say, simple as just type your name. I mean, that's me. Obviously this is someone else, this is someone else, this is someone else. But yeah, and have fun, play around with it. And also the other cool thing is it gives you, this is the current week, so that is last week. So if we scroll down, yeah, we can see, because obviously my name's still in the search. You can see that we got 382nd that week. If we go to that week, we can see we got 452. That week we got 361. This week, oh look at that, 950. I think that week, I think I did like one day. And I was like, oh, forget about it. I'm having the week off. I think that's what happened there. And then if we go to this week, we got 402. So that was a killer. And I mean, we're 2 positions out of the top 400. Just missed out on a payout there. But like I say, even at this early stage, you can see how useful this site is. A lot of people refer to it. It gets thrown around on Discord all the time. Come and check it out, and like I say, bookmark it and watch out for those alerts in the very near future. Okay, so the last video we were at, I think, 513th position or something like that, 512th, 513th position. So if we dive into the leaderboard now, okay, so we're at 496. And the funny thing is, because obviously I've been checking this, I've actually gone from 499 to 496 in about the last hour. So I've made up like 3 places in the last hour. And, you know, we could well get up to something like 490, 480 something. But I think that is as far as we're going to go. Like I said in the previous part of the video, I don't think we got a chance of making that top 400. But that is not the build's fault. The build itself is good. Like I say, you're making 1,360 plus per hour, which is a really good build. And if we hadn't have had those unfortunate incidents happen that I mentioned earlier on in the video, we would have been in that top 400 easy. We would have claimed another 200 Gala without no problems. But like I say, part way through, I made a mistake. Then we had the issues of my computer resetting itself and things like that. And that is essentially what has ended up knocking us back. But like I say, this is a really good build. Or it's a build worth doing or worth giving a go. If you want to copy it, obviously you're more than welcome. I have said, let me just zoom out so you can see all of it. So I have said that I'm going to be doing, because next week or next Tuesday, we're doing the same meta. So it will be energy number 3, energy week 3. And I'm going to be doing a nuclear build. So I'm going to be using nuclear power plants rather than turbines. And we're just going to see how we get on with that. So like I say, if you do want to copy this, you are more than welcome to do so. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. If you are interested in that video or playlist that I mentioned earlier, it's probably on your screen right now. So get clicking and get watching. And if you can smash that like button, really supports my channel, which then helps me bring more content to you. So take care, have a great rest of your week, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.